Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Charmed Life podcast. I'm your host, Tricia Carr, and this is a mini episode. It's an excerpt from a recent Mystic Arts Academy class. I hope you enjoy it. So far as seeing fairy or the nature spirit realm or anything of the I would say outlying frequencies outside of the third density or third dimension, that our eyes are trained to not see that. Our eyes are filters. Our eyes are trained to discount those light frequencies. Yeah, basically ultraviolet, and that's what science would call it. And so when something is seen with the eyes, when someone sees a spirit or when someone sees a fairy, it's actually seen despite the eyes. And when we see anything, whether it's with our eyes and or despite our eyes, we're actually perceiving it or really seeing it with the mind's eye or with the pineal gland, the third eye. That's actually how the information is being received and perceived. So when it comes to seeing outside of what the eyes would typically allow, it's just that we're, again, seeing despite them. So, for example, seeing fairies, sounds very much like you did, and I would definitely go with your instinct and your heart about it, and you can see the evidence of it. So the flower was basically dancing with the fairy, and the fairy was, maybe tending to it. It seems to me, as I tap into it intuitively, that the fairy was tending to it and blessing it and loving it and doing work with it, and a kind of celebration energy too. And then if you were to blur your eyes, you can have your eyes open and still see the fairy, but it's really, again, the third eye will be more active and will dominate the physical eyes so that they don't filter out as much. So the way that you can see either auras or fairies or spirits or something like that, but fairies and the nature spirit realm is kind of easier to see because it's more proximate to our vibration frequency, and it's inside of our frequency, and that it's more second dimensional and we're 3D. Then you would want to focus on the flower, and it's that. Do you remember the 3D art from the 90s? It was really tacky looking. It was like all computer generated.
Those find the picture in the dots kind of thing. That one. Yes.
But what you do with that is the same thing to see fairies, essentially, or auras. So I'm pretending like this is the flower. And so you kind of you let your eyes you kind of let them relax and almost blur, or almost like they're going to cross. That's one way to do it. And sometimes it's like you're looking through whatever it is you're looking at. So you're not looking at it and identifying it, which is what your eyes will do. It will go, okay, light spectrum, this is what this is, in what the eyes will allow. But you kind of look through it, blurring the vision a little bit, relaxing your eyes a little bit, and you can also kind of just look around the edges of it. So if you're looking either like directly through it with a relaxed kind of intensity, as if you're looking through the solid, whatever it is. And then that will help you to be more aware of what's going on the edges too. The edges of our eyes will take in more of the light spectrum. So they actually will pick up more. That's why I'm sure you've had this happen before, where you see something out of the corner of your eye and you're like, oh, there's nothing there. Well, that was probably something in spirit realm, you know what I mean? That because your eyes, it can see this better, or it discounts less on the corners of the eye. And then you might see a kind of like energy that is collected. It almost would be like it's a little bit blurrier, or it's a little more concentrated. It may even look like it's waves, when you've ever seen on the freeway the waves of heat rising off of the asphalt, and you're actually seeing heat. So you might see something like that, but more collected into some kind of spot. And then you would kind of see, oh my gosh, the flower is moving in response to that thing. And then also it doesn't have to be you can kind of just like zoom out and just imagine if that flower is moving this way, then there would just logically be something that is pushing it down that way. and then focus gently or intensely, whatever makes sense to you, because both seem to be the way. It's almost like intensely with your eyes relaxed, but your eyes really focused, but focused, unfocused. You know, the whole jumble of instructions we got with that 3D art in the 90s, it totally works for spirit too.
Oh, how cool. I'm totally going to do that next time. Thank you.
Sure. And you can practice by looking and practicing auras that way as well. Looking at someone or even yourself against a black wall and doing that with your eyes and then looking around. You could do it with your own hand even. If you do that with your hand right now, you can see kind of an outline around it. And, you know, a skeptic would say, oh, that's just the reflection of light. Light is energy, you know. If you enjoyed this or any of the Charmed Life podcast episodes, I invite you to like, subscribe, share, or comment, or leave us a review on Apple iTunes or however you get your podcasts. Thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are. I'm so excited to announce the 2020 Energy Intensive with me, Tricia Carr, and my partner, Crystal Ann Compton. The Energy Intensive is an 8-week, comprehensive program that teaches and activates energy healing modalities. This program is unique, it is brand new, and it is cutting edge. It's also perfect for anyone who's interested in healing and energy, and particularly for intuitive people, for metaphysical seekers, and for spiritual practitioners. To learn more about the 2020 Energy Intensive, click the link in the description of this episode.